Currently, one company produces 80% of the hardware used to train and deploy artificial intelligence worldwide, pushing their market valuation past the $4 trillion mark. Parallel to their role in the AI sector, they also maintain a 92% share of the discrete graphics market for desktop and laptop computers. These figures represent the infrastructure of the modern computing landscape. Yet this massive enterprise grew from a three-man startup that originally specialized in making video games run more smoothly. The path to that $4 trillion valuation leads back to late 1992, inside a Denny's roadside diner on Berryessa Road in East San Jose. Three engineers, Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Priam, met there to plan their resignation from IBM and Sun Microsystems to launch their own venture. They started with $40,000 in the bank. At the time, they were entering a crowded field of 70 competing graphics startups, making their eventual survival highly statistically improbable. Jensen Huang viewed video games as a killer app, a high-volume consumer market that could generate the massive revenue needed to fund complex computational research. Generating 3D graphics requires calculating the color and position of thousands of pixels simultaneously. To handle this, the hardware has to process data in parallel, breaking one large task into thousands of smaller, concurrent calculations. NVIDIA spent the late 90s fighting for market share. Their continued existence was eventually secured by the release of the Riva 128 graphics chip. The Riva 128 sold 1 million units in just 4 months. This success provided the immediate cash flow required to develop their next generation of processors. By the end of the 90s, the GPU wars had eliminated almost every competitor. Out of 70 original startups, only NVIDIA and ATI survived the industry-wide consolidation. This strategy weaponized consumer entertainment to build a self-sustaining financial flywheel, generating the R&D capital necessary to dominate the hardware market. The company reached a major milestone in January 1999 when NVIDIA went public on the NASDAQ. Later that year, they launched the GeForce 256. It was the first product marketed as a GPU, or graphics processing unit, establishing a new category of specialized hardware. Huang realized the parallel processing power used for games could be applied to general mathematical problems. He envisioned the GPU evolving into a tool for high-performance computing. In the early 2000s, NVIDIA invested over $1 billion to create CUDA. This software platform allowed programmers to use the GPU's thousands of cores for non-graphics data processing. At the time, Wall Street was confused by the move. Competitors didn't understand why a successful gaming company would spend its profits building software for the niche world of supercomputing. This was a Trojan horse strategy. By including CUDA support in every gaming card, NVIDIA was turning millions of home PCs into an installed base of supercomputing hardware, waiting for a market to catch up. The industry shifted in 2009 with the big bang of deep learning, as researchers began looking for hardware capable of training massive neural networks. A team at Google Brain, led by Andrew Ng, discovered that NVIDIA GPUs were the ideal architecture for these algorithms. This chart illustrates the performance gap between traditional processors and GPUs. Ng's research showed GPUs increase machine learning speed by 100 times. This worked because training neural networks is mathematically identical to rendering 3D games. Both require the same architecture of massive parallel processing. This discovery allowed NVIDIA to expand far beyond its roots, becoming the primary hardware provider for robotics and enterprise AI deployment. By funding the development of digital worlds for entertainment, the company developed the specific hardware architecture necessary to process artificial intelligence for the real world.